Howdy, y'all. It's Curious Raven. Hope y'all are doing good today. Today, I have two short creepypastas for y'all. The first one I'm going to read is called I Must Honor My Agreement Now, I Have No Choice, and it is written by SkoomaDane. It is time to follow him to his lair. My time is up. I have to honor my agreement with this thing. How stupid I was. But how should I have known? Nobody believes in ghosts or spirits. Some do, of course, but such people are seldom taken seriously. It's so unreal. Is this really happening? The thing in my room certainly makes it real enough. It even talks to me. But now I am unable to understand the words. They almost hurt my ears. What happened? For the past 10 years, he had been so kind to me, fulfilling everything I had asked for. I even thought of him as a friend. Strange, I know. But he was always there for me, guiding me towards my deepest desires, making sure they happened just like I wanted them to. I have never been more afraid than I am now. I can actually feel the dread occupying my body. I'm certain. I know what will happen to me. I know what he will do to me once we arrive. There's no escaping now. It knows what I'm thinking. I should be careful. It was just a game, they said, a harmless ritual that had been performed 100 times. Did they know it would work? Probably not. If they did, I don't think they ever expected that thing in particular to be the one to answer. One of the worst, I'm told. A real tormentor. He has only ever presented himself for a select few over thousands of years he has existed, or so I am told. It does make me feel kind of special, I guess. The things I have seen throughout the last 10 years, shall I even describe them? Maybe some of the less morbid things, I guess. The riches he has gifted me, the first million was a real treat. I used it so fast I could hardly believe it. But of course, he just conjured up more somehow. He even won the lottery a few times. I guess it was all his doing. My childhood bully found himself in the hospital a few times, with broken legs and arms. They would seemingly break out of nowhere. Amazing stuff. It even made the news one time, when it was recorded by some bystanders. He should have died when he set himself on fire, but he wasn't allowed to die. My friend made sure of that. I think he still lingers in the hospital. I don't pity him. I'm still sitting on my bed, petrified to move. I have no idea I could be this afraid. I have even pissed my pants. Can I make him change his mind? No. There is simply no choice. He wants me. He wants my soul. Or at least some part of it. Do I deserve this? I sure took advantage of the situation. But who wouldn't? Nobody got hurt. Nobody that didn't deserve it. All the criminals, rapists, and murderers that have been agonized in wicked ways, they surely deserved it. Even that guy who scratched his own eyes out while screaming for help, I will never forget that guy. I almost puked, but I think a part of me actually enjoyed it. I can feel it. He is becoming irritated with me. Something I don't want to happen. I'm walking slowly now towards him. His words are like piercing gunshots to my ears. I can't stand them. My pants are cold and wet. They reek of urine. But I dare not stop. Will anyone miss me? Will I just disappear? Or is he leaving my body behind? He is getting annoyed by all my thoughts. But I can't help it. My parents? Will they get sick again when I'm gone? What about all the children who have been miraculously cured from their cancer? He assures me everything will be fine. But should I believe him? It is time. I must leave or face his cruelty. Something I must avoid at all cost. I have no regrets, but I did feel the need to leave something behind. A little warning, I guess. At least just for my parents. They need to know. No, I have no regrets. I will do it all again. He tells me I will be safe. I must undress, take his hand, and follow him. It is time. I have never seen him up close before. He knows what I'm thinking. He wants me to put away my phone and undress. His eyes, they are so vile, just like his hooves. I must post this before I take your hand, master. One moment, I beg you. He controls my body. Some of it anyways. It is time. No more delays. That story is creepy. And as I was recording it, something fell in my room, and it scared me. Our next story is called Don't Fall Asleep by New Astronomer 4093. I sighed as I sunk my body lower into my steamy bubble bath. Today has been a day, and this lavender and eucalyptus bath was much needed. I laid my head back and closed my eyes as I relaxed. Suddenly my eyes popped open at the sound of knocking. I sat there listening, reluctant to leave my oasis. When I didn't hear anything, I closed my eyes again. Not even 2 minutes later, I heard the knock again, and this time I was fully alert. This time, I realized it wasn't at the door. It was coming from beneath the tub. Right when I was going to stand up, the tub gave away and I was plunged into darkness. And after the splash of the water hitting the ground, after a few moments, I heard what sounded like claws dragging across the concrete in a menacing laugh. Though I could still see nothing, I had no choice but to stand still and wait. The thing that was slowly clawing and cackling its way to me. The hairs on my neck stood up as I felt its hot breath. I slowly turned around, only to come face to face with what had to have been a 10-foot tall, thin creature with arms that ended in long, sharp claws. Its mouth turned up in an unnaturally wide mouth and sharp teeth. What stood out the most were its glowing red eyes. This has to be a dream, I thought to myself, right as it opened its mouth to say, "This isn't a dream. Didn't they warn you about falling asleep in the tub?" it questioned. I was frozen in shock and unable to speak. "You're mine now," it said as I felt its claw sink into my skin. I closed my eyes, choking on what had to be blood. When I opened them, though, I was on the bathroom floor surrounded by paramedics. As my vision cleared, I noticed the worried face of my best friend. With a sigh of relief, she said, "I came home to see you submerged in the water and called the paramedics, and they pulled you out. A few more seconds and you would have been a goner," said one paramedic. "Don't you know it's dangerous to fall asleep in the tub?" he scolded. Relief washed over me as I realized it was just a nightmare. "How'd you get that scratch?" my friend exclaimed. I looked down and stared in horror as I noticed long, deep claw marks going down my arm. I woke up in the hospital after apparently passing out. I glanced at my arm to see it bandaged up. Did I imagine everything? I asked myself out loud. I looked around the room and swore I saw a shadow in the corner. But I just told myself it was the medicine. I decided to try to go back to sleep and had just dozed off when I was yanked out of my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but it was caught in my throat as I realized it was the same creature dragging me across the floor, nails digging into my ankle. "I told you were mine. You can't escape me," it said. I could feel the blood gushing out of my ankle as it began to drag me down the hallway, and I noticed the nurse's station was empty. Finally, my voice returned and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I must have startled the creature as it stopped, turned around, and stared at me with a growl. It lifted its claws, and as I continued to lay there screaming, I knew my end was near. I closed my eyes and awaited my death. Ma'am, I heard it say. I slowly opened my eyes and I realized I was surrounded by nurses. It was just another dream, I thought to myself as my ankle throbbed. That's when it clicked. I yanked the covers off me and heard the audible gasp as I looked at the deep wounds from when the creature was dragging me. The nurses looked at me in horror and my gaze was the same. I glanced in the corner again and could have sworn I saw a pair of red eyes, but when I blinked, it was gone. I breathed a sigh of relief, but I should have held that in because next thing I knew, a voice growled in a whisper in my ear. I'll be watching you. Then everything went black. Alright, those are the ends of those stories today for our Creepypasta Saturday. I love y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoyed them. I will see y'all on Tuesday. Until then, remember, it's scary out there. Please like and subscribe.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross